Let's talk. The GEKISHIN SQUADRA community is absolutely horrendous at making tier lists. So I have decided myself to make one. I'm an absolute nobody. I play solo queue. Play solo queue in every role, and to be fair, things have been tough, especially trying to get to top 500 in the UK, because people tend to spread a lot of misinformation, and they say like characters like this guy is good, or characters like KO is good in solo queue, and we just get demolished. My teammates get diffed, and I'm just left raging, wondering why I've D-ranked 3 times in a row, despite the fact that I should have gotten the best W according to these tier lists in the GEKISHIN Squadra community. I don't understand how people who are queuing up with others and making a team are the ones that have the biggest clout in this game, when we all know that the largest amount of people are playing in solo queue. Therefore, I've taken it upon myself to actually make this tier list for you lot, so that you actually know what actually goes on in the game when you play solo queue. Not only that, but obviously this is subjected to my opinion only. I mean, if you lot disagree with me, you're fine. But I've played way too long. I've played for way too long to hit S rank in DPS and A1 in the other roles to not give my opinion on this game, which current state it's not the greatest. I've also created a PowerPoint explaining the rules and also giving you lot the information that I've gathered based on each character and why they are in the tier that they are. So the rules are only 2 things: skill ceiling, which is how proportional is the character impact as your skill increases, and the skill floor, how much is it required to properly use the character. You should already know by now why some characters are low and why some characters are high, to be honest. This is only for solo queue, so no stacking whatsoever. If you say, oh, but my friend, nah, I don't want to hear that. Most people here don't have friends. That's why we're playing this game. Without further ado, let's begin. I'm gonna just. This guy deserves to be. These guys are freaking awful, bro. Every time you see a baby on under 17, I just give up. Anyway, this guy in BTA. Don't worry, I'm gonna give you the explanation soon enough as to why I'm putting these characters where they are. Yeah. Therefore, front or behind? I reckon here. Front, in front. Front and in front. Yep. Oops. Probably gonna cut this part of the video, to be honest. Oh. Alright, let's get both the rats out of the bag. This is rat number 1. This is rat number 2. Oh, I might as well call him cancer, to be honest. It's like a tumor. Every time I see him, it just makes my skin crawl. Anyway, let's start with the presentation, which took me quite a while to generate, by the way. Alright, let's start with Baby. This guy's disgusting. I actually do not understand why people still play this character and think that they're doing a service to you. Can tank, can can tank, can defend, selfish tank, Can you actually imagine that? This is a selfish tank. You can't push with, baby. You get annihilated. Annihilated by a Super Saiyan Goku or a Super Saiyan 3 that instantly Kamehameha it to you. Annihilated. No protection abilities, no nothing. This guy's trash. You're selling by using him. I'll be real. I'm just putting it out there. Just selling by using him. If you go into late game and this is your tank, you've lost the game. You either steamroll them or you've lost the game. No in between. And even then, if you steamroll them, you still got a chance to lose because that's how awful this guy is. I forgot what the animations. They look nice. Put me in a better mood than currently I'm seeing this face as well. Okay, so he heals barriers, but Bull just does better because he's actually healing you. His extra shield doesn't last as long as it should, unless you're ulting, which surprised me because, most under 70s just die in their own ult. Since the range of the because you can just kill it. You know how many times I've just killed someone through their under 17 ult? Just run into it and they just absolutely smash him. It's honestly a disgrace what they've done to my MVP. And also, yeah, why not just pick Bull after the buffs? He's been kind of toxic as well, but no, obviously we'll get to that point. But yeah, they're both awful. These characters are both awful, and if you pick them, you're selling. I'm glad they got buffed. Well, one of them got buffed. Baby's still in the guys, as per usual. That would have CTA. So I've heard some controversy about the character being really good, and some people just don't know how to use him. He's really not that good. The people who are using him are just genuinely cracked at video games and combos. They've got high game IQ. They've got high skill ceiling. That's the reason why. That's the only reason why they're able to make that work. Because he just destroys noobs and prevents people from banishing. So late game, you can prevent people from banishing from the spirit bomb and they just die. But that's about it really. Preventing people from escaping. You yourself don't have any escape moves. So if you're facing a Goldenks, you're just dead. You're just dead. He just maintains his distance and you're just dead. If you're facing a Frieza, you're also just dead. Generally, you got so many disgusting matchups that you can't escape from. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you're also dead. Any character that's just above this tier can pretty much deal with him easily. It's only he that can't actually deal with him much because he gets petrified real quick, and he has to get into close combat to actually get his moves done. But regardless of that, he is still absolutely busted. All it takes is one time skip and this guy's gone. His ult is also extremely underwhelming. He only petrifies people, but by late game, that ult does nothing because it doesn't do it. Not only does it do not enough damage, but petrification stacks up a lot less the higher up you go in the levels. So he just becomes useless. I had games where that would actually just level 15 from Cell Juniors and he still lose. They just lose. Because if he was any other DPS, we would have gone steamroll. But since it's just Dabura, it's actually kind of sad. But I respect the Dabura mains. I respect them. The good ones. Most Dabura mains are awful that I've had, and I'm in S rank. I think I need to keep putting it out there because I'm S rank solo queue. Unlike all these stackers, I'm S rank solo queue. Bojack has got the same thing, but technically not really the same thing. It's kind of different. He does some really good stuff late game, and he can deal with Frieza really easily. But like he's got no movement. He just get deep fried by any character that's got movement. He's also non-existent early game. There's not much to say, and he can't move his ult, so he just gets cooked. I've seen some good projects like stack towers by just spamming his ult from like a large distance, so that it's a lot easier to take them. Which is the smart. I think there's still a way to use his ult really, because even if you use it for boss rushing to try stealing bosses, Frieza is not only just quicker, but you also might get deep fried by some Super Saiyan 3 that just teleports behind you and demolishes you, taking back shots because you're stuck in your ult. They need to change that. Moving on to B tier, Zamasu. Not much to say really. I mean, he's really good, really good. Early game, he's really good. because of his regeneration. That doesn't take anything, unlike cells who debuffs it for some reason. They need to change that. But yeah, Thanos' early game is really, really busted. But yeah, he's still worse than Vegeta. Absolutely. And he gets countered by any tank that doesn't do damage just gets destroyed by Cauliflower. Because Cauliflower's got the highest DPS and the highest damage resistance for some random reason, thanks to Provoke. We'll get to that later. But yeah, he's got horrible matchups. And late game, even though if you're just a wall that doesn't die, but you don't do any damage, you're just useless because you don't do anything. You can't even secure kills because your damage is just way too low. And if you build yourself offensively, you just explode. So yeah, that's why he's in B tier. Hard to carry with him. Frieza also in B tier. I mean, some people will have put him in S tier and all that, but I don't see it because once you get to the high ranks, this guy just gets focused so disgustingly hard. So me personally, on hit, if I see that, I'm thinking food. There is no way. There's like, if you have a hit that's decent, Frieza can't play the game. He no longer becomes a character. He becomes useless. He becomes a punching bag. I've had games in which I went 11 and 5 because I just kept targeting Frieza and then killing down everyone else. Hit is like the bane of his existence, and if you see a hit, you've lost. You've generally just lost. A hit or a Gotenks. A Gotenks is also a disgusting counter to them because he can just Galactic Donut, Carbon Doria, and they're just useless after that. He's got way too many weaknesses for him to be decent or any higher than B. Maybe I could see him in A, but any higher is just crazy. Any higher is generally crazy. If you build him with the technical build of just him being able to run away and all that and just become really toxic, I could see him work. But all he will take is one stone, to be honest. One stone and it's over. And most people are not stupid. They will know if Frieza wants to attack. Like normally, you just have one guy target, make sure that he just doesn't get to play the game, regardless of whether they want the other team is focusing them or not. Regardless of whether the other team is trying to shield them or not, you just make sure Frieza doesn't play the game, and they're already at a huge disadvantage. The drink, Trunks, strength. Obviously, he's very lethal late game. We already know this. I mean, if you play solo queue and you see a Trunks that's late game, or snowball stacks, build all red, you just see him lurking in the shadows. You're fighting like Cauliflower 40 feels forever. You feel like you're about to win, and you just get decimated by some random Trunks that just pulled down and over and just one shots you, regardless of how much health you had left. Just one shots you, and then one shots your teammate, and then one shots your teammate, and then all of a sudden everyone's down. The only thing that's weak about him is that he doesn't do that early game, so he just gets incinerated. He's basically a better Bojack, but instead of having a bunch of AoE, he has a lot of DPS. And he's also got really long cooldowns, so he's not doing nothing. All your attacks are basically killing blows. If not, you're just dead. Because, yeah, he's got good melee damage, but other characters, other DPSs have gimmicks to their melees. This guy's just got a sword. But not to say you cannot carry on him, because I've seen a lot of people. I've carried myself on Trunks. But it's a lot harder to carry on Trunks than one of the other DPSs above him. Krillin. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Krillin is really, really good technical. I mean, he's able to defend towers, he's fast. Hit blindness is really, really annoying and borderline toxic. But to keep it short, Super Saiyan 3 makes him useless. Vegeta, but I don't see many Vegetas. Cooler, but I don't see many coolers. I mean, no, not cooler, actually. Because Cooler likes to be all over in your face, which is what Krillin wants. Krillin wants you to be all over his face so you can blind him, but if you just snipe it from long range, it don't matter. And yeah, Super Saiyan 3 is almost in every lobby in solo queue for some reason. For some toxic reason, it's always in every lobby. Anytime I just Krillin, without a shadow of a doubt, Super Saiyan 3 has to be there. And that's why he's quite useless, because his traps are useless. One of his skills just doesn't work, it doesn't function. So you're using 2 skills, whereas the other technicals are busted and on crack. And you're 1 skill down. It's just not gonna add up well. That's why creating this in this spot. He said it's good. I acknowledge it's good because he can blind people and his ult can one-shot people as well. It maxed out 4 stacks, but it's at a clear disadvantage when it comes. They need to add a better health bar to his bombs because they get destroyed way too easily. I have to just rework his skill 1 altogether. Cell's also in 80 for the same reason as Trunks. He's a very snowbally character, and once if you snowball with him early game, you've already won the game. If you get to perfect cell, you could get to perfect cell. I've seen perfect cell at level 5 or level 6, and that basically wins you the game. Honestly, perfect cell is so strong in obviously, but not toxic. Well, his grab is really toxic because if you know, I'm not sure if you guys know, but the grab has a tech in which if you grab them as they're about to dash, they don't dash away from you, and their dash goes on cooldown. Or if you grab a Goku who just teleported and is about to blow you up with a Kamehameha, you can stun lock him out of that. So the grab is really toxic, good but really toxic. And he's also got a decently high skill ceiling with his barrier. His regen makes him last forever, and obviously he's got no getaway techniques, but this is quite one of the rare times where you don't really need it. If he had a getaway technique, he would be way too busted. But yeah, his early game is inexcusable. Also, yeah, partnership with Goldtex. We will talk about Goldtex later, but yeah, his early game is inexcusable. That's why he's in 80. Under 18, she's a lot better than Trunks in the first and second, the early phase and middle phase of the game. Late game, she becomes useless because she just doesn't have enough AoE. And they also nerfed her disc in this season, which is just disgusting. It's wrong. It's generally wrong. I'm not sure why they're nerfing her, but perhaps it's because the new Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is meant to be quite a physical tank. So if you build her to be a tank shredder in your game, you might render Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta useless. I mean, all the changes have been rendered towards making Vegeta strong, which is acceptable, but like you're just enforcing the pay to win mentality of this game, which is where the game is going towards, which is disappointing. But yeah, 80 probably wouldn't move on to be in season 2. But then again, I made the tier list quite a while ago. Just didn't have the time to make the video. ST Piccolo. Obviously, we all know we've been, we all know the feeling of fighting like a cooler for like 30 seconds, and then they finally get it away, and they're trying to run away, and all of a sudden you get blown up by a lightning grenade. This guy's a machine. I've seen the best Piccolos just don't let you. There's this weird side of the Piccolos being able to control their space with their melees, and so it's really annoying to get close to him because they can chip damage you as you get closer, and then it gets to the point where like an exchange between them, between a Piccolo and yourself, becomes a tedious task because as you get closer, you're taking more and more damage, and then if you start panicking and start running away, you get lag grenade, just instantly gone, lag grenade. So the only counter to this guy is just advance forward and assault. Just let you run through everything and get to him. Because his getaway technique and his dash are the only thing keeping him from being dead. Once he uses both of them and you surround him, he's just dead meat. Yeah, so that's why he's in ST. Because although he can carry, and unless you can carry, unless you can carry Piccolo, he just gets demolished. It's like a freezer. It's a stronger freezer, but like it requires a lot more skill flow than freezer. Yeah, it shows in the game that freezer has a high skill ceiling, but I don't think so. Just need to place down Dovorian Tharbon in a decent spot and then just press your third ability and then they just go crazy. The only skill in that is knowing where to place it and where you placed it. That's about it, really. It's really easy. It's really easy to use. Piccolo's a lot harder. You need to learn when to gauge, control space, and where to aim your light grenade. Also, special beam cannon also takes a lot of skill because it's a really thin line. Normally used to steel bosses, to be fair, but I've also had people do like squad wipes with it. So yeah, high skill ceiling, really good character. Vegeta. Vegeta is honestly quite quick. He's really easy to summarize. Big AoE doesn't die. Generally, big AoE doesn't die. I've had games in which I had 0 deaths with Vegeta and like a bunch of kills because I was just able to 3v1 the team because I just didn't die. You build this guy defensively and he just doesn't die. He lives there. He lives in the place where he's fighting at. Put this guy with Super Saiyan 3 Goku and yeah, the other team's gonna have a really rough time. A really, really, really rough time because you've got that guy. You can build your Super Saiyan 3 Goku to just do as much damage as humanly possible, and then you use this guy to like make sure he's a wall and nobody gets past him. It's a really tough combination to deal with. That being said, however, Cauliflan and Cauliflan Cooler are just better. They are superior. Ub is a better version of Piccolo than Piccolo. Whereas Piccolo tries to one-shot you and then do chip damage if you try to get close to him, this guy can do everything. He can roll and one-shot you with his ult. His ult is extremely busted. I'm not too sure why not everybody's talking about his ult, but high high tier skill ceiling oops are always getting MVPs, especially in the early in the season. Every oob was getting the MVP because people underestimate how strong he gets with Snowball. Obviously every character gets really cracked with Snowball, but oops chip damage becomes insane. As in, like, people say that like let's just ignore him, he's not gonna do much chip damage, but then the chip damage just adds up as he keeps attacking you. So he just blows it, you just blow up. And you can't hit him because he's always dashing away from your attacks. So it's really difficult to actually land a proper hit on him because he's got barrier as well. Everyone's running Kenshin barrier, but still, if you're not popping, whoever pops up the Kenshin in late game, especially if whoever pops it up first is the one that wins. Or whoever kills the other person after popping it first is the one that wins the 1v1s or the 2v1s. And Orb is just one of those DPSs where if he pops your barrier and then he lands his ult, regardless of whether one shots you or not, you're dead because you get turned into Kali. So yeah, he's a better version of Piccolo, a superior version of Piccolo. The only weakness is that he's got less HP and obviously you get nuked from the low health bar. And also has a very, very weak early phase. Moving on to CTA, a half double. And now I don't know why the community has suddenly become retarded when it comes to speaking of top up. Excuse my language, by the way. I'm just getting kind of exhausted. I look at different content creators and they're just downplaying him, but I don't comprehend why a character with a counter is getting downplayed that hard. You counter this guy, you could use the counter on any Super Saiyan 3 Goku and they're just dead. His AoE, obviously, we all know he's able to steal bosses at a ridiculous range. The cover destruction, the destruction seal on people stacks up to the point where it gets worse than Padsy Bomb. As in, you've legit, this guy with timer is just such a toxic combo. Such a ridiculous, like, this guy with timer, the chip damage kills before like they even land their moves. And also, people are not talking about how you can't get away from engaging this dude. Like that would how you could get away with if he misses his dash canceling attack, his speed. This guy you can't get away with. His speed increases as he keeps attacking you. So he just die. This guy's also a noob stopper. Yeah, there's not much to say. His only weakness is being that he can't get away from things. So if things comes up high, I feel like because he's the weakest of the pay to win characters, and he's the only one that's actually balanced. He's quite obviously he's quite strong, but he's balanced. I feel like that's the reason why people are downplaying him instead of actually putting him where he deserves. So yeah, putting him in DT. KO obviously, yeah. I know I said already that since he's solo queue, she won't be able to carry much, but heavily, 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 heavily disagree on KO only. She is really busted when she gets to the late game because everyone just explodes from her attacks. And Kenshin barrier makes her quite broken on a stupid degree, unless your hit is the biggest counter to KO as well. Her burst damage is just insanely ridiculous. It's obnoxious, to be honest. The amount of damage she does on her burst damage, because you just disappear. It's not like a Trunks where like at least you get to know what happened to you. You just see a blast and then you're just dead. You see yellow and you see the light. Herald is obviously ridiculously posted. Everyone knows what it's like to fight kill. Then you pop up the ult. It feels like fighting a Psylocke in Marvel Rivals. You just pop up the ult and then everyone's just dead. And you get 3 stacks, snowball stacks. And then you continue to just bulldoze with him. Don't even get me started if you got a cooler in your team as well. People cannot escape that. That's you bulldoze. Nah. But yeah, obviously, she suffers from most people who used to suffer from cowboy syndrome, which means they don't want to attack. They don't actually want to engage with KO, which is really stupid because that's what you should be doing. People underestimate the low health bar, start going crazy with the damage. But alas, what can we say? Also, Golden's Destroyer makes her unplayable. Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, not much to say. Very large health pool. And they've got the strongest early phase in the game, 100%. If you engage the Gammas with any other DPS in the early game and the battle lasts longer than 10 seconds, you're probably going to lose. He's generally just probably going to lose. Gammas are the ones that you're meant to be engaging slowly, maybe catching them off guard, but early game, they are the strongest. Therefore, if you got a competent support or a competent tank, you will win like 10 out of 10 times that exchange, unless you go on the Gammas, but then again, that's just skill diff. They've got not the highest skill ceiling, to be honest, and they've also got large, oppressive stalling potential with the stuns and, their large health pools when they're defending the god towers. They're also really toxic to come up against when they're in their ult because their kicks just start doing ridiculous damage. The guns as well, they do ridiculous damage. I cannot tend to forget how much more damage they do now than before they got buffed. But yeah, they deserve CT. They're obviously late game AoEs are way too low, but the core breakout you can also use to kill through people. Obviously you can only use it once, but I've seen people clutch up by just blowing up the last center tower with the core breaker. So yeah, they've got really rewarding skill ceiling with decently low skill flow. So yeah, Camus CT. Think now we're moving on to the I've got Majin Buu. Completely forgot. But yeah, this guy's a terrorist, basically. Yeah, this guy's a terrorist. In every lobby he's in, he's just healing everyone, making their swords last forever. Imagine you're nearly about to kill Cooler or Kalina. This guy pulls up to heal them. All of a sudden you're trying to get away, but he stuns you with his skill 1 that you can't move, and then all of a sudden your Cooler food or Khalifa food or Super Saiyan 3 Goku food. It's insanely toxic the amount of times I've tried to kill someone with any character, and then this guy uses his skill 3 to like push me away from them, and all of a sudden I'm halfway across the map and the other guy's getting away from me because my teammate can do sugar. So you're just attempting to carry and this guy's just preventing you from doing so, and any exchange in which he comes in, stuns you, and all of a sudden you can't get away. times 10 Kamehameha in them. I mean, times 4 Kamehameha to your face. Yeah, that's really it. It's got a very high skill floor, and you get nuked in your early phase if you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, he's really good. I forgot to state how his ult is game breaking. He decided if you land this ult, you will win. You don't even need to. You don't even need to eat people that you've turned into candy. That's actually worse. That's actually getting your worst outcome. Just kill them. Just generally kill them, and you've won the game. CD here. My favorite technical. I mean, do I think he deserves a nerf? Maybe some of his moves, but let's not nerf free-to-play characters just yet, because we need to talk about. Obviously, we'll talk about the pay-to-win months later that I've put up top on top of these guys. But yeah, this is the best guys in the respective roles. It is disgustingly broken. Disgustingly broken. Uh, Obviously, some people don't know how to use him, and obviously because he has the highest skill floor in the game. I mean, it's really hard to use him without getting blown up. But once you master that, you can 4v1 people. I've had for consistent. This is the only character that you can consistently 4v1 safely. His time skip is at level 3, lasts forever. His blinding effects are extremely toxic. When both of you in situations where both teams have killed 2 bosses and you're fighting towards getting the third, so you can get the double Xeno tower, the double Xeno effect. His ult just decides whether you're getting it or not. Because I think people underestimate the ability to just chase down people who are very low health. If you engage late with hit, you will win most of your engagements. Because if they are low health, not only can they not escape you, because every hit you land, which increases his passive, every hit you land makes them slower. So they legit cannot escape you. It's basically double, but a lot weaker. But it's also blinding you. So yeah, that's to summarize. Yeah, best technical in the game, along with Gohan. Obviously, Aaron Ken has released the video of Barrier Hand, so I don't need to explain much, but this guy's absolutely busted beyond comprehension. 2 stuns, people don't melee enough with him when you're ulting, because that shreds everything in your path. Adding the third red ability that buffs your melees, and this guy's a monster. His melees actually shred people. I've had games in which you just pop the ult and you just 2v1 cause while defending your tower, cause they can't do anything. They just start getting melted, and once they start trying to run away, you pop up skill 2 and then they're just dead, because you got 2 stuns in your ult, and the ult has also got really low cooldown, so just spam it. Feel free to just spam it. His only weakness is a low health bar, but that's about it really. And also, this guy counters hit tremendously. You could legit, if he engages you, there is a really low chance of you losing, because you're debuffing his attacks, and also you do a lot more damage than he can do to you. So yeah, he's also really tough to catch when Gohans are just going for the center towers, because Gohans go at low speed. Damagoku is just an objectively better version of Hit that has 2 AoEs that do genetic damage. There's not much to say about him. I mean, you can do Hit and Run style, which is just getting a surprise attack and then just spamming 24/7 Pansy Bomb, or you could do Pursue, which just gives you lightning damage on every time you do double attacks. So you just do Glory or Pansy Bomb and everything dies. You can also engage forever because of this third skill negating most of the damage you're taking. So yeah, this guy's ridiculous. Not much to say. He's just called Big Timer for a reason. Super Saiyan Goku. I originally, before the nerfs, had a term TA called Goku only for this guy, but obviously he got nerfed. He was my main. He still is my main, but now I have to build him in different ways because solo queue works differently. Things work differently in solo queue. So yeah. Before it got to the point where like you could actually build him defensively and it still wouldn't matter because you generally just one-shotted everything regardless of his stats. But now, yeah, you have to build him with some sort of offensive mind. They nerfed this early game. He's a lot weaker early game, so you really need to mind what you're doing. But once he transforms, he still as OP as he's been before. I mean, if you build him defensively, you could actually potentially get better outcomes. Because if your teammate dies before you and they get his passive, everything becomes free game. Your Kamehameha does ridiculous damage. Still, your Hammer Fist may have got your Hammer Fist if you activate it after you've done the transform Kamehameha. Deals ridiculous damage as well. If you get yourself pursued to add to the damage, you just burst through people, shred them. His only weakness is that he doesn't do much after that. After you saw his kills, he just that kind of stands there unless you go Kaioken at level 3. But it would be easier to just use it to run away. But then again, that's not really a weakness. And also, cowardice syndrome. A lot of Gokus are cowards. Get why? I guess after the nerfs, I thought that he should be playing even more safe, but this guy should be extremely hyper-aggressive. Every time you see Super Saiyan go through Super Saiyan Goku, you should be fearing him. If you got, they should be fearing you. If you got the actual proper build, and last but not least, Super Spirit Bomb. We know what it does. It kills things. Cooler is a superior version of Goku. His retaliation is just Kaioken. It's legit just Kaioken, but like you get it from people attacking you rather than you activating it. So he's got Kaioken without having it as a skill, which they should have given to Goku, by the way. But we'll talk about that later. But he's got Kaioken as a passive rather than a skill. And he also doesn't take damage while he's doing his skills. He's also got I'm stumbling over words. He's also got chasing. His second move is a chasing ability, and his second move prevents you from leaving the engage. So every time you choose engage cooler, you have to choose whether you actually want to engage him or not. No, because he could just stop you from moving. And his third move not only stuns you, but it also prevents you from using the skill that you were about to use. So if you dash and your dash getting interrupted by his second skill, you cannot not only can you no longer dash, but you can also not only use your other moves, your escaping moves. So yeah, engaging cooler without like a plan is just suicide. Because if you build him defensively, he just doesn't die, and he still does ridiculous damage on top of that. That's why he got nerfed for the release of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, because they want to make sure he's the best tank in the game, and they knew that he could take the spot. They weren't careful because they also nerfed Caulifla. So if they didn't nerf Caulifla, Cooler will probably still be the best if they nerf him either. So yeah, his only weakness is that he's harder to use than Caulifla. I forgot to also talk about his nuke bomb. If you have retaliation on and the ult, you just cover the entire map. Caulifla, who hasn't talked about Caulifla anyway? I mean, I put her above Cooler in this tier list. Not because I think she's better, but because Provoke is just that busted. I mean, I'm glad they nerfed her ability to spam Provoke on people because they nerfed the cooldown on the kicks, but Provoke in Season 1 was just so busted because you could not confirm any kills whatsoever. All the attacks went to her, and you also couldn't confirm bosses because how many times have I spirit bombed and missed it completely because I got hit with a random kick? And all of a sudden the game goes south because we didn't get the boss. Then that's missed my spirit bomb. I'm also sitting dog, so I die. everyone dies, everyone else gets their snowball stacks, and then all of a sudden it's an uphill battle. She's got no weaknesses. No, like she's got a getaway move, she's got a confirm move, and she's also got an engagement move. She's got no weaknesses. No weaknesses whatsoever. The only weakness could be that you don't have a brain and you build her offensively with Super Snowball. That's on you, Chief. That's generally on you. Because why not just build it defensively? You ain't jumping people. You can't. People don't do that in solo queue unless you get like some really cracked Super Saiyan 3 Goku that knows what they're doing and knows exactly where everyone is in the map. Then yeah, you can engage with her 24/7 because you know that someone's going that Super Saiyan 3 Goku's just gonna come in and nuke whatever is left of the opposition. But other than that, why not just build it defensively? I mean, she just doesn't die once you do that. That's all the free-to-play characters and some pay-to-wins. Let's get on to the cancer. The rat, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I've talked about him the whole tier list because he's in every game and he controls every game to such a large extent. It's egregious. He, at any point, you could just die. You generally could just die. How does it make sense to create a character that kills you at any time of the game? That's just not fun. It's not fun. It's not fun winning a 2v1 against this guy, and then all of a sudden he comes back and warps Kamehameha you, and he gets 2 stacks because he also gets your teammate who's also halfway across the map fighting another tank. Because his Kamehameha is just that large. He doesn't have a weakness. I mean, obviously, I put that down because that's what always happens to me. Every Super Saiyan 3 Goku just gets stiffed and spams Kamehameha on the top of, and they on top of spamming the counter, and then just gets annihilated. But generally, good Super Saiyan 3 Gokus don't have a weakness because we could just IT out. Or Dragon Fist. I forgot to mention Dragon Fist just kills anything if you're low health. You have to get out of jail free cards. You got the transmission, which just doesn't get interrupted. I don't even remember what even interrupts instant transmission. I've tried a lot of things, but I think the characters I'm using just don't interrupt it. And yeah, his instant transmission barely gets interrupted ever. Or he just Dragon Fists you and you're just dead. You're just dead. He is a very obnoxious character, and to be honest, he was a very, very unhealthy addition to the game because he just died. I know they said to nerf Super Saiyan Goku. I think this guy should have been nerfed first because although Super Saiyan Goku was better than him, if they were gonna go through that route of nerfing him, this guy needed to nerf first because he's pay to win. Not everyone has access to him. Now we're in a situation where this guy's better than the rest of the game by a mile. Obviously, DPS wise, the rest of the game by a mile. And you just cross your fingers, you get this guy, or if you don't get this guy, it's an extremely uphill battle from there. Let's get to cancer. Generally, his face pisses me off. When have I not seen a Gotenks get MVP? Never. And you wanna know what pisses me off more the most? Is that this tier list, this little, I don't know, these content creators who think, oh yeah, Gotenks ain't that good. He is cracked. I've never seen a Gotenks not get MVP. He is busted. Do you know that feeling where like someone's coming to help in a 2v2 and then it turns to 3v2 and you're like thinking, oh, maybe we should sweep it. I think we got this. If this guy's the one that's showing up to the 3v2, you're dead. You're dead. You'll just be like, oh, Texas here. You're dead. You are just dead. One of his skills stuns you for 3 seconds, which is just enough for Goku to IT onto you and they just blow you up. Then you got the other the ghost will just slow you down and then he can just chip damage you from there. Just keeps spamming his what was it? His melees at you, and obviously by melees I mean like his normals, but he spams that at you, just waits for someone to do it to kill you, or if not, he will do it himself because him in Snowball just does DPS damage. He does DPS damage. Can we talk about the fact the auto doesn't allow me to play the game? Just have you ever had a game in which you're doing well and then you're trying to kill the last boss with like you're old, and then all of a sudden you can't play the game because the last power of the ult landed on you, even though you were nowhere near the radius, and now all of a sudden you've lost the game because they got the last boss and they got the Xeno effect. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's egregious. It's cancer. I should be removed from the game. Well, I'm not saying that he's stunts to be nerfed. I'm saying his ult needs definitely a massive nerf or a rework. If the last effect was just I can't use my ult and I can't use one of my skills, fine. But I can't play the game. I can't even attack people. No, no, no. And it's a pay to win character as well. I will not accept it. I will not accept it. This guy's peak of the game currently. Obviously, he might change with Vegeta getting added, but this guy's peak of the game. I don't care what nobody says. Obviously, this is for solo queue, but this guy's peak of the game. Peak of the game. Not a single game goes by without, even when I'm going crazy on Super Saiyan Goku, I'm getting 10 kills. Gotenks pulls up with 17 because he's just that good. And it's also the quickest technical, one of the quickest technicals in the game. On top of that, because his health bar is also egregious. He's quite hard to kill because his health bar is just ridiculous compared to the every rest technical. He's honestly a DPS in disguise. I need to stop talking before I actually start punching the monitor. Conclusion: pay to win characters should have gone nerfed before Super Saiyan Goku. Obviously, he was the only character that kept this game truly free to play. Now everything's pay to win, and also with the fact that they nerfed Cooler and Caulifla, with the addition of Super Saiyan for Vegeta, because they were scared that they might just straight up be better than him. That's hilarious. They were scared that the free-to-play characters they created were way too busted and were going to pass the pay-to-win that should be broken. I'm expecting a large extent of brokenness because the pay-to-win. But anyway, now that they are ruling the game. Oh, by the way, Super Saiyan 3 Goku got nerfed, so that's a good thing. Continuously they get touched, which is worrying. It's all thanks to these YouTubers who are saying Gohan's better, this is better, that is better, when they're all stacking. They're all stacking with people. They're all stacking, playing with teammates. And don't get me wrong, that's good and all, but don't spread misinformation for us solo queues. Also, not a single free character is crazy work. I forgot to mention that. Not a single one of them was free. So ranks have reached S rank for DPS, which is the easiest role. If anyone says not, you have just not you're bad at the game, which is fine to be bad at the game. It's just not fine bringing your opinion when you're bad at the game. A1 for support, hard road to carry by far. I mean, I tried climbing up with every technical character. I mean, the only one I could get close to S rank was Hit, but consistently pulling 11 kills per game. But unfortunately, that's not enough, because if one of your DPS sucks, which is the strongest role in the game, or if one of your tanks sucks, which is the easiest, no, I would say so if DPS is the OPS role, I would say that tank is the most oppressive role. If you have a good tank, they have the most enablers. If you have a good tank, they enable DPSs to go crazier. So if there is no enabling, and if one of your DPSs is trash, you lose. That's why this is the hardest role by far. Highest chance to lose for a tank, because even though you've got a really good build on Cooler, on Caulifla, if your DPSs suck, you just lose the game. If you are a good DPS, you come 1v4. If you're a good tank, you have a possibility of 1v4. If you're a good support, you can 1v4, but there's still gonna be someone that supports in their side sniping your towers. So yeah, that's all I got. I just needed to spread this because I was really pissed at the tier lists that came out for Final Season 1. I'll probably make one a lot quicker for Season 2, because now I actually got a template and a laptop to talk to you lot. Anyway, no one's gonna watch this video, but if one person watches the video, at least